Welcome to the Technology and Energy panel of ISH Digital 2021. Today we've invited more experts from the heating industry to talk about the future of oil heating and liquid fuels in buildings. We'll be looking today at what contribution the appliance industry can make towards increasing efficiency and which innovative liquid energy sources can contribute to CO2 reduction in the heating market.
Zur CO2-Reduktion im Wärmemarkt beitragen können. Das ist heute unser Thema.
So, I'd like to welcome Adrian Willig. He is Managing Director at the Institute for Heat and Mobility, the IWO. Welcome. Mr. Willig, the IWO is an annual participant in the BDH Technology and Energy panel. This year, you're supporting the event as a gold sponsor. At the beginning of the year, your association changed its name to Institute for Heat and Mobility. What brought that about? Hello, Mrs. Evert. Yes, I'm looking forward to this interview. Welcome. The challenge of making our energy supply climate neutral by 2050 is enormous. To do so, we'll have to approach the problem from every angle. This includes alternative fuels in all sectors and for a wide range of applications. So it was obvious that IWO, which has been dealing with liquid fuels for a long time, should extend its activities to other areas of application. Of course, the building sector remains a focal point of our work, and in this respect, we continue to look forward to intensive cooperation with the specialist trades and the heating industry, for example here as part of the ISH Digital.
Zum Beispiel hier gerade auf der ISH Digital.
The IWO is concerned with a wide range of topics. What contribution can the oil-heated building stock make towards achieving the 2050 climate targets? In Germany, around 5.5 million buildings are supplied with oil heating, meaning that almost a quarter of the population relies on oil for its energy supply. And of these 5.5 million buildings, about 3 million can't be connected to either gas or district heating networks. And switching to another technology is often difficult to implement, either technically or financially. But that doesn't matter, because buildings supplied with liquid energy sources can also achieve the climate targets by 2050. Last year, IWO commissioned a study by the Institute for Building Systems Engineering, ITG, in Dresden, that describes in detail how this can be achieved. There are 3 steps for letting buildings with oil heating achieve the climate targets in the long term. The first step has to be significantly increasing efficiency and reducing the consumption of liquid energy sources through the use of efficient condensing technology and measures to upgrade the building envelope. The second element is an even stronger direct coupling of renewable energies, for example with solar thermal energy or photovoltaics, in so-called hybrid heating systems. This will enable us to reduce the demand for liquid energy sources even further. And the third step towards climate neutrality is to meet the remaining demand, which will by then be very low, with alternative liquid fuels that are increasingly greenhouse gas neutral. And with this triad of increased efficiency, hybridization, and alternative fuels, even oil-heated buildings can meet climate targets in the long term.
Hybridisierung und alternativen Brennstoffen können auch ölbeheizte Gebäude langfristig die Klimaziele erreichen.
So this means oil heating definitely has great potential for achieving the climate targets. Can you explain this in more detail using practical examples? Yes, I'd love to. In recent years, IWO has assisted numerous homeowners with their energy-related building renovations, for example in Basdorf on the coast of Mecklenburg, in Baumholder in Rhineland-Palatinate, and we've also overseen a very exciting innovation house in Wolfhagen in Hesse. In all these pilot projects, owners are using innovative technology, in some cases also hybrid technology, and we're already using alternative liquid fuels there as well. From 2017 to 2020 alone, we piped about 61,000 liters of low GHG liquid fuel into detached and semi-detached homes. And all of these heating systems have so far operated just as reliably as with conventional heating oil. In the case of our most recent example, we launched a comprehensive field test jointly with heating companies and tank manufacturers that are organized within the BDH. We are also going to look at the use of alternative liquid fuels in 21 other heating systems for the next 2 heating periods, all with the aim of allowing the heating manufacturers to test reliability and recommend these new products.
Und mit dem Ziel, dass dann die Heizungshersteller auch Zuverlässigkeit geprüft haben und eine Empfehlung für diese neuen Produkte aussprechen werden.
You mentioned new fuels. Can you tell me more about these new alternative fuels?
Wie kann ich mir diese neuen alternativen Kraft- und Brennstoffe denn vorstellen?
We are talking about liquid energy sources that contain fewer and fewer fossil components. The production and use of these alternative fuels involves a largely closed carbon cycle. Today, petrol, diesel and heating oil already contain alternative fuel components in some cases. In the future, the aim will be to expand the sources of raw materials for the manufacture of such products. Used cooking oils, algae or residual and waste materials from agriculture are valuable raw materials for the production of such alternative future fuels. Beyond that, however, the demand for liquid fuels will be very, very large, so we will also need synthetic, electricity-based energy sources in the future. These are products made from renewable electricity and CO2 as a carbon source. They are called Power-to-X products, or so-called e-fuels. Ideally, such products will be manufactured in sunny and windy regions of the world. This offers a significant advantage. We can then bring renewable energy to Germany, which we urgently need here, stored in the form of very transportable, liquid energy sources.
In Form solcher gespeicherten, super transportierbaren, flüssigen Energieträger hier nach Deutschland bringen.
And what challenges are there around this? What are you doing to establish these new fuels in the market? As you can imagine, producing alternative fuels on a large scale is very, very expensive. This means that very large investments are needed, which is why it's important, first of all, that the use and manufacture of these various products is permitted in all sectors, and that policy does not unilaterally exclude certain applications for these alternative products. And a second important point is that in order for investors to have security when planning and investing in the manufacture of these new products, a suitable framework is needed. And we need a level playing field that acknowledges all solutions on an equal basis. Unfortunately, this is not yet the case. For example, it would be necessary to design the CO2 fleet regulation for vehicle manufacturers in such a way that vehicles that run on a climate-neutral fuel are treated in the same way as an electric battery-powered vehicle. What's more, it would be important to change the current taxation of fuels to a genuine CO2 pricing, creating another incentive for fuel manufacturers to invest in ramping up alternative fuels on the market. Another example, which is very, very important if we want to see a lot more of these renewable fuels on the market, is for legislation around the supply of energy to buildings to treat alternative fuels and fuels lower in greenhouse gases on an equal footing with other renewable solutions. Last but not least, we do a lot to showcase the benefits of these alternative liquid energy sources. Last year, for example, we launched the Future Fuels blog, which contains a wealth of information for science industry and the interested professional public on how far our sector has come in the manufacture of such products. These are all challenges, but we can overcome them together with the heating industry, the specialist trades, the public and politicians, and thus ensure that these products take off on the market.
All das sind Herausforderungen, aber die können wir gemeinsam mit der Heizungsindustrie, dem Fachhandwerk, mit der Öffentlichkeit und der Politik hinkriegen und so für einen Markthochlauf dieser Produkte sorgen.
And what are you doing specifically to raise awareness of the new fuels among end consumers? To that end, we launched the Movers and Shakers Next Door campaign last year. Here we show a variety of people and their different reasons and motivations as to why it's worthwhile to continue to rely on heating with liquid energy sources. And in the context of this campaign, future fuels also play a very, very important role. Specialists can obtain information materials from us for their own discussions with customers. The latest effort to raise awareness of future fuels is our pilot initiative, Future Fuels at Work. This is another area where we're working very intensively with the heating industry and the specialist trades on site. When a specialist tradesperson is in the quotation phase with a customer who wants a new oil condensing boiler, the customer has the opportunity to apply to take part in this pilot initiative and can obtain alternative fuels with lower greenhouse gas emissions on preferential terms and then gain valuable, positive, first-hand experience. You can find out more about this pilot initiative, Future Fuels at Work, on our website www.zukunftsheizen.de or on our Facebook page.
Oder auch in unserem Facebook-Kanal der IWO Zukunftswerkstatt.
Thank you very much, Mr. Willig, for the interview. That was our program on the future of oil heating and liquid fuels in existing buildings. I'd like to thank Adrian Willig again for his information and for the fascinating discussion. I wish you an interesting Eyes Edge Digital 2021.